My loyal subjects, stand back again with the Arcana. So, I've been waiting a little bit to actually record it. I've been doing, Heart Hunter, and I've been doing the wheel. So, I've gotten 5 from Azra, 3 from Nadia, and 5 from Julian. I need more from Azra. So you got this one. We need to go deeper, Jessica. There's still so much I have to show you. And then this one, at the docks. The sea is vast, but there are 1,000 others out there, Jessica. I'd cross all of them to get back to you. And all of them say XO at the bottom. I don't like his face in this one. It's so sad. I wish we could go anywhere else, but if you need to be here, I'll be here to bring you home. Sweet. Cute. Marketplace. Eating bread in the sun with you. I could go to any marketplace in the world and I wouldn't find anything I treasure more. This one I got today. I've never seen you get on a table like that. You're a natural, Jessica. Then you have Nadia at the Coliseum. What would you like to see here? A statue garden in your honor? A palace of your own? I have so many ideas. The problem with hers is she's fancy writing because she's countess, so it's hard to read. Your presence lights up even the darkest of places, Jessica. I will never forget the first night I saw you, Jessica. I knew you would change my life forever. I like all of them, though. That makes this game very complicated. Thanks for catching me when I slipped back there. You're stronger than you look, Jessica. I should stop saying my own name. It just sounds weird. Still thinking about a life of piracy? I think you could pull off an eye patch even better than me. I knew you could handle yourself. I wasn't worried for a second. I swear I wasn't breaking in this time. Really. I might just drop the accents too, because I forgot what accents I even did in the first episode. I'm glad we keep running into each other. Maybe some things are just meant to be. And then, I've been doing the spin. I have 1 compass, 1 crystal ball, 2 scrolls. I don't know what to call those. 1 little teapot. So this one is a golden compass. It's Azra's trinket. An intricately constructed compass. Its needle seems to be pointing somewhere other than north. Crystal ball, Azra's trinket. A glass orb filled with swirling smoke. Its portents are as inconstructible as its owner. I hope I read that right. I read a lot of stuff wrong. Oh, it's unsent letters. Illegible handwriting sprawls across the pages. Some of the ink seems to have gotten wet. And another Julian trinket. A thoughtful gift for a patient privately battling sinus congestion. Sinus congestion. Ugh, I knew that sounded so weird. I'm gonna reread that. A thoughtful gift for a patient privately battling sinus congestion. Ugh. Like, I need to take my time reading. Because if I took my time, I could actually pronounce stuff right. But I just read it. Oh, and this is the store. It's just basically buying coins and stuff. Okay, so let's continue with the story. The Empress. Night. As the sun drops below the horizon, the palace is illuminated with gold. The geometry of the structure is perfect. Its towers seem to stretch to the stars. Escorting me is Portia, the Countess's servant. Thankfully, she arrived at the gates just after I did. Had she not appeared, I would be alone as I faced the looming palace. My gaze trails down the alabaster bridge to the swirling waters below. There's something down there. Corkscrewing through the muck, it glows like some kind of bloodless ghost. Its body is long and rippling, ribbon-like. Something catch your eye? She leans over me and her eyes light up when she spots the creature in the water below. Oh. Oh. Ah, do you like animals? I love animals. Not that one. Psh, I love animals. I love animals. Oh, you do? How nice. You'll definitely enjoy your stay here. The palace is home to all kinds of exotic pets. But you don't want to get too friendly with that one. It's a vampire eel, imported from faraway swamps. No ears... I read that out of order. No eyes or ears, but they're still pretty graceful, don't you think? Unless you splash around a lot, then they won't even bother you. But you wouldn't want to catch a bite. If they bite, they don't stop drinking until the body is dry. I nod, peering down at the creature as it spirals into the billowing silt. Portia pats my shoulder, ushering me along. She occupies me with conversation along the way down the bridge. I'm gonna mispronounce so much stuff. As we approach the intricate doors, I find myself growing nervous. Uncertainties start to rise like bubbles coming to a boil within me. Is this wise? What awaits me in the fortress so far from home? If I walk through those doors, will I ever walk out again? Too soon we are standing before them, and Portia turns to me with a winsome smile. We've arrived. She swings her fist against the copper plating, 3 skull-rattling strikes. As the last echoes fade, the pendulous... Why do they put such fancy words in here? Doors swing inward. I probably look like an idiot, but whatever. And I'm swept inside, wondering if I will ever return. I enjoy the, really fancy words, even though most of them are, really simple, but at the same time, when you're not 100% certain if you're pronouncing them right, it gets a little complicated. Inside is a different world. Everything is gleaming. Imagine how long it took to draw all that. The floors, the walls, the steep ceilings are all clean-cut, polished stone. Lining the hall on either side Lining the halls on either side are many servants, standing at attention in brilliant uniform. Welcome. Welcome, 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 welcome. I'm guessing that's different voices, but who cares? My eyes flick left and right uneasily as I am welcomed from all angles. When we reach the end of the line, one servant slips away from the rest to join us. Barely 4 feet tall, a sumptuous blue feather... I read that wrong. I just know it. A blue feather stands proudly from their velvet cap. With a deep bow, they pass me and dash to Portia's side. How are you doing on How are we doing on time? Terribly. You're terribly late. The 5th course has just been cleared. Her ladyship is in a most unhappy state. Portia chews her lip and casts a backwards glance at me. Sighing, she hands off her fruit basket to the trembling servant. I'm not sure how to pronounce that. Ugh, I wish it'd be so much better if I had someone else here to just, correct me for being, not having all the vocabulary down. Ugh. Salmonella. No, that's not even close, alright? I'd have them fetch a bottle of the Golden Goose. Golden Goose, yes, excellent. Right away. The servant departs at a hasty clip, disappearing behind a panel in the wall, which slides seamlessly shut. Looks like Wow, I'm just awful at reading today.
Looks like I may have miscalculated. We're very late. I'll escort you directly to the dining room.
Dining? As in, me? Dining? With the Countess?
What? Don't tell me you thought we wouldn't feed you.
My expression must be a sight. Portia giggles, patting me on the shoulder.
Well, I shouldn't speak too soon. We don't know yet what your punishment will be.
My knees quake as I follow her purposeful stride, and our footsteps echo. I just can't talk today. Down the hall. Soon we are standing behind a fine mahogany door, and Portia turns to me.
We'll go in together, okay?
I feel myself nod, and she opens the door, leading me inside. Ooh, pretty. I step into the dining room. Rich scents linger in the air, unfamiliar and tantalizing. A quiet dressed in gauzy evening gowns. Gauzy. I think that's how it's... Who cares? Certainly not me. If you want stuff pronounced right, watch a different Let's Play. Or whatever you would call this. A quintet dressed in a gauzy evening gowns are playing a pleasant, ambling melody. Ah, Jessica, this is a surprise. Have a seat. You're too late for dinner, I'm afraid. She brings her glass to her lips and drinks deeply. I feel Portia vacate her place beside me, and another servant leads me to my seat. Coughing, the servant removes what might have been my plate. I'm beginning to think you have forgotten my invitation. But could it be instead that you were very slow, unaccustomed to travel, perhaps? You look exhausted. Clearly you've been straining yourself. Why, I can see your cheeks gleaming from here. How tragic that you missed dinner when you must surely be starving. Poor thing. Or maybe you were simply wasting time? Oh, she looks mad. Faced with a blistering glare, I lower my gaze to the table, cheeks steaming. And after I made a spectacle of myself, seeking your aid at such a desperate hour. How embarrassing. The Countess downs her glass, and Portia appears at her side with a bottle enrobed in shimmering foil. Ah, Portia, you are my only comfort in the world.
I am honored, my lady.
Portia fills the cup, and the Countess takes a sip. Oh, this is lovely. A golden goose? I tear my gaze away, anger and shame ruffling my feathers, and notice the strange painting before me. The scene is that of a meal shared amongst a host of figures with the heads of beasts. The table is laden with small animals provided by a central character with the head of a goat. Rays of gold glitter around its head, and its red eyes are strikingly lifelike. Our guest appears to be enchanted by the painting. Do you like it, Jessica? The painting? I like it? Sure. Yes. The Countess Oh, did I pick the wrong answer? The Countess raises her shapely brows, eyes flashing at me over the rim of her glass. Fascinating. Does it appeal to your beastly nature, making me wait around like this? Regardless, you have awful taste, just like he did. I should have said no. My husband, rest his poor soul. Count Lucio, rather the late Count Lucio, at the mention of him. I'm thrown off balance. I would never have thought she would speak of him with the likes of me. He's the goat in the middle, of course, ever the provider. Indeed, his generosity won the hearts of many in the city. Oh, how adored he was. Lucio had the populace eating out of the palm of his hand, much like the painting, I suppose. Whatever he offered, the public gobbled it up. They worshipped him. We never had guards at the gate back then. No one dared to cross the Count. Because everyone loved him. Because everyone feared him. I'm gonna say feared him. I don't think everyone loved him.
Because everyone feared him?
The words have scarcely left my mouth, and I know I've said something unforgivable. The servants... Why do I keep saying everything wrong? His servants stand stock still against the walls, unable to breathe as they wait for the Countess to speak. Possibly. Though if I'm not mistaken, I am well feared amongst the city folk, am I not? But not loved the way that Lucio was. Sighing woefully, the Countess collapses deeper into her chair. Do these eyes look like they have known no bitter tear, Jessica? Beneath this breast, do you imagine a heart of stone? I take no joy in striking fear into my public. Oh, how it pains me. Rather, I would like to enjoy the company of my people, to open my home to them, like the old days. Swinging her head back, the Countess drains her glass. At once, Portia is at her side to fill it. Tell me, Jessica, did you ever attend the masquerade? The whole city came alive then. Music filled the air. Revelry took hold of hearts young and old. All in celebration of Lucio. And what a celebration it was when he opened the gates to the public. Wouldn't it be lovely to do that again? The Countess sighs, watching the wine swirl in her glass. Oh, I just realized a lot of people would normally add the emotion that's on the character's face. I'm just trying to read it in an accent and read it correctly, so I'm not going to try and voice act. I say nothing, letting the words hang in the air, to hold the masquerade again. Surely she doesn't expect the city to have already forgotten what happened last time. As if she's read my mind, the Countess' gaze fixes upon me. Oh, I know what you're thinking. How could I even entertain the thought? Now, you mustn't look at me that way. Of course I know what the masquerade brings to mind. Such a fond memory for many, and now it is shrouded in sorrow. It was a terrible shock to the guests, to find their host murdered so violently. The servants lower their eyes. I too avert my gaze back to the painting. My poor husband, burned alive in his own bed. And at the celebration of his birthday, what did he do to invite such hatred? But what an opportunity it was for those who hated him. An open gate, open doors, an open invitation to wander the palace in mass secrecy. Why, we couldn't have made it any easier. Guests have been scarce since then, but now that you are here, all that will change. What does any of this have to do with me? What do you have in mind? I'm gonna go with what do you have in mind? What do you have in mind? What do I have in mind? Well, a smile touches the Countess' lips. She must have been waiting for me to ask. It is unspeakably lonely, trapped up here in this hollow tomb of a house. I long for company, especially at this time of year, when his birthday looms ever closely. Looms ever closer. It's very simple. This year we will hold another masquerade, and the palace shall open its gates to the public once more. The servants jolt to attention. I'm shaken as well. Another masquerade? Surely the city folk won't take to the idea so quickly. I know what you're thinking. The city folk won't take to the idea so quickly. That's not creepy at all. As a matter of fact, that's exactly where you come in. As I'm sure you know, my husband's murder was not the only crime visited upon the palace that day. The murderer was locked away at once in the depths of the dungeon, and yet he somehow managed to escape. And to the endless embarrassment of this household, we haven't been able to find him since. So as long as he stalks the shadows of the city, I cannot guarantee the safety of my guests. For years he has eluded me, and the trail has gone cold. It seems as though we've exhausted conventional means. And so, where conventional means fail, one must turn to the unconventional. Her meandering gaze falls upon me. You come highly recommended. Your master is known far and wide. But word on the street is that you've already surpassed him. I myself see the future, in dreams, whether I like it or not. It is because I've seen the future that I know that... It is because I've seen the future that I know that you are the one who will find him for me. Julian Devereux, the doctor who betrayed us and murdered my husband. There's a terrible crash. Oh no! All eyes land on Portia, whose face is stricken with horror. At her feet, the broken remnants of the golden goose are seeping into the floor. Portia?
Forgive me, my lady. Slippery hands.
You are forgiven. Two servants rush to her aid, sweeping away the shattered glass with wind-sprint speed. And if we find him? And if I say no? And if we find him? If I find him, I'm not giving him to you. And if we find him, the Countess sets her glass... The Countess sets down her glass. When we find him, we will bring him here before the people, so that all may see his long-awaited punishment. Whether he begs for his life or hangs his head in defeat, the people will delight in his suffering. A spectacle of vengeance, the mob will love it. And so, to commence the festivities, the doctor will die on the gallows. Well, if all goes according to plan. The Countess rises on instinct. I rise as well. Portia.
Yes, my lady?
Show Jessica to the guest quarters. I imagine there's much to ponder before the night is out.
Right away, my lady.
Portia pulls me to my feet, and with a humble bow, whisks me to the doorway. I'm interested to see more of this magic of yours, Jessica. And I look forward to our partnership. Automatically, I bow. The Countess looks pleased. Portia hurries me out the door. Too bad for you. I'm not going to turn Julian in. Portia is quiet as she ushers me down the hall toward my room. I don't mind. The Countess's words left us both with much to think about. After a few turns, we pass a wide staircase, veiled in shadow. A draught rushes down from the floor above, prickling my skin. It's cold and it smells of ash. I strain to see where the stairs lead, but the darkness at the top is impenetrable. More importantly... Oh, puppies! They're so cute! Curled up on the bottom step are two large, lanky dogs. They notice me just as I've noticed them. Fathomless eyes fix upon me, and they rise slowly without a sound. Though they look as though they could strike at any moment, I sense no ill intent. English is weird. I hold out my hand and they approach to sniff it. Their huffing breaths tickle my skin. The more they smell, the more their tails start to swing from side to side. Why can't I read today? Oh my gosh. There is a gasp from up ahead, and I look to see Portia watching the scene unfold with wide eyes.
Oh my! What's this?
You actually got up from your favorite stair? She rounds back, absorbing the dogs in wonder.
Well, this is bizarre. These two never take kindly to strangers. It's just how they were trained, but I've never seen them act like this.
Slim snouts brush up against my sides as the dogs investigate me further. Satisfied, they draw back, looking at me expectantly. I want to pet him. On a whim, I reach out my hand over the smaller one's silky coat.
I wouldn't do that if I were you.
The dog rears back from my hand, or from Portia's panicked tone. I'm not sure.
Sorry, I know they're gorgeous and all, but they're also a little unpredictable. I'd rather you keep that hand. Now go on, you two. Protect your stairs.
The hounds trot thoughtfully back to their spot. They nearly blend into the marble.
Oh, that reminds me. They haven't had their... Chamomile cakes. They're gonna be up all night.
Oh, chamomile! Oh, That makes sense. Context clues, man.
Keep Jessica company. Keep Jessica company, you two. No growling, no snapping, no biting. They've gotten a lot better. It's just tough to train them out of their old ways. Count Lucio liked to keep them vicious. Be right back.
Portia swoops through a sliding panel in the wall. I'm left alone in the hallway with the dogs. I feel the bigger one sniff my side insistently. When I look down, it simply pulls back and stares. Then the smaller one is sniffing my other side, huffing samples of my scent. I whirl to catch it, and it sits back on its haunches, watching me innocently. Cheeky. I suddenly look back into its one eye, and suddenly, I can't English. An unsettling sensation ripples through my body like a wave of fever. Who the heck is this? Oh, hello, hello, hello. What do we have here? A guest. I startle back, gaze darting up and down the corridor. Who said that? I hope the voice matches. It sounded like it was coming from up there, the top of the stair. I can only see so far into the hollow gloom. But there's no one there. I nearly jump when I feel yanking at my garments. The dogs, their teeth are buried in my clothes, unrelenting as they drag me onto the stairs. I trip up the first steps, and their tails start wagging. I hear the voice again, a hiss of delight. Yes, my beauties, bring the morsel to Papa. Hey! I wrench myself free, groaning in frustration. The dogs scamper to the top of the stairs. And wait, carefully, I take the next step towards the impressive gloom. Good, just a little closer. Best behavior, you two. Let's show off our famous hospitality. I want to know who this is. Snickering bounces off the walls, and I feel the sweltering heat at my back, urging me higher. Oh no! Well, I want to follow the voice, so I guess this is all for today's episode. Wait, can you die in this game? That would be very tragic. What are the keys for? Oh, that's all that it brings up. So I guess this is gonna be the end of the episode. Because in order to follow the voice, I need to use coins. I don't think it's Lucio, so I'm very curious as to who it is. Because I don't know all the characters yet. Because, I haven't played the whole game yet. Granted, I did look at some stuff, after the first episode. I looked at, the other routes. Not all the way, though. So I know little bits and pieces. But the route I'm doing is, Julian. I'm doing Julian's route. So, yep. Nadia's gonna be disappointed. I wonder, if I spin this, will I get coins? Let's hope so. I get 10 coins. Wow, isn't that great? And I've already... Why do I keep pressing store? But yeah. So... Gonna have to wait a while till I can do that one. Because I need a lot of coins. But anyway... Hope you enjoyed this video. Even though I freaking suck at reading. And, I hope you check out this game. Because it's really cool. Not sponsored or anything, just saying. I like art games, and this has lots of cool art in it. So, till we meet again, my loyal subjects. See you in the next video. Bye!